Hello, 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 dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. So, again, this is completely unplanned. I was doing other stuff. I was just kind of like chilling, right? Hanging out and just kind of like taking that time to rest. And something has been sitting with me like kind of like all day. It was something I wrote earlier today, and I was like, why does this keep on coming up? Right. And it was this thing of like, and I'm like, but why? Like, I'm just going to say it, right? And then we'll go from there. We'll pull some cards and see what comes up. But what came to me today, and it was kind of funny because it took me some time, like even after I wrote it, to kind of really see what it meant, I guess. And I guess the full meaning of it is going to come out during this live. And it was, people are and I'm just reading it because, again, I wrote it earlier today. People are part of your journey, but not the journey. People are part of your journey, but not the journey. And I feel that applies in kind of like every situation, right? Regardless of how you're looking at it. If you're looking at it from a point of view or perspective of the twin flame journey, or an empath, light work, or whatever it is, there is this sense that when individuals, let's put it this way, put titles on things, then the journey itself stops being about oneself, stops being about that growth, that getting to that space where you're just you, where you're being your authentic self, right? Because then instead of focusing on being still, on learning or trying your best to connect so that you can get the clarity for yourself, you are focusing on a title. And I feel that is why there is so much confusion, why there is so much within the spiritual community itself, so many people going at each other, so many people feeling or believing that they're above others, right? So there is this sense of like needing to go back, right, to self, needing to go back to that space where we are not attaching ourselves directly to something or to someone, right? But instead of being in that space of being in that space when we are present, and I was just kind of like wow, like, and it is true, we tend to, and this happens to everybody, right? We begin the journey, we're going down a certain path, we're doing certain things, and there's little detours, here and there that we take. But it is very, especially like during these times and moving forward, it is very important that we are coming back to self, that we are in a space where we're being authentic, when we're being ourselves, when we're not forcing anything, when we're not doing things, let's put it this way, with like a hidden agenda, or to have someone or a certain group be a part of what it is that you're doing, or be a part of what it is that you're creating. Because at the end of the day, again, this is your journey. This is your path. And yes, you're going to come across many different people. You're going to connect with many different people. But there has to be this reminder, again, of not getting attached, right? Because some people just come into your life either to teach you a lesson. Some people help you get to the next level, help you elevate to the next level. And some people are coming into your life to definitely stay permanently. But there is this, again, needing to remember that the journey is not your journey. It's not about them. Your journey is about you. It is about you learning about yourself. It is about you going back to self, going back to who you truly are. And that is kind of where everybody else comes into play, right? They're all part of your journey, but they're not your journey. So if we're looking at it, let's say from like a light worker type of way, right? Sometimes light workers tend to overexert themselves or overdo themselves, right? Because they're trying to help everyone else, but not realizing or not recognizing, right? That yes, you have the ability, you have the power within yourself to help others, but you also have to be responsible with that power, because if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not being the example, then you're really not helping anyone else. When we talk about the twin flame journey, it teaches you a lot about yourself, right? Because there's a lot of mirroring effect back and forth, right? So the focus within that shouldn't be about the other person or doing things within yourself, right? Or going within yourself to try and get somebody back to you. So that's kind of like really the the message, I guess, that wanted to come out. And there's definitely the sense of like, and there's this, when was it, yesterday I actually found out there was a friend, high school. Well, we went more than just high school. We were, elementary school, middle school, high school. And he was very young. He was 33. Yeah, 33. And they found him on Monday. He passed away in his sleep. And everybody was posting on Facebook about it. Some of the guys were, reminiscing about their relationship with him and things like that. And it's like, at any given moment, it can be your last day, right? And there is this sense of, are you living the life that you want to live? Are you living the life that you were intended to live? Or are you still struggling to just be yourself? Because again, it really doesn't matter what anybody's saying. It really doesn't matter what anybody is thinking. Because at the end of the day, your life is your responsibility. What you choose to do, it's your responsibility. Whatever you choose to procrastinate, it is on you. And that's kind of like, and that's the thing, is like, people are like, when it comes to death anyways, I seem to, I guess, look at it from a different perspective, or I tend to kind of, I guess, look at it from the perspective or the view of celebrating, right, that person's life. Because again, and I think I said this last year when my grandmother passed away, because she passed away right before Thanksgiving, and I don't know, and I still don't know which culture it is, where they cry when people are born, right? They cry the birth and they celebrate the death. Because when you're born, you're coming into those trials, those tribulations. You're coming in to basically suffer, let's put it this way, to learn your lessons and et cetera, et cetera. And that has always stuck with me. And, I read like all the comments that everybody's reading and things like that. And, the past few years, I have definitely lost a lot of people, close and people that are not so close to me. And one of the things that I've noticed, let's put it this way, is a lot of regret. People having a lot of regret about either not spending time with people having a lot of regret about not saying things, not fixing things, people having just regret when the other person passed. So it's kind of like, you're here now, right? We're all here now, those of us that are still here physically. So why not take advantage of the time that you have now and really embrace the time, really celebrate the time that you have with those that are around you, with those that you love, with those that you care for, so that if and when, because eventually we're all going to, right? When those people pass, when those people cross over, you're not living with regret. You're not living with pain. You're not living with the wish could have type of energy or thoughts within yourself, because that can become very destructive to yourself. And a lot of people stay in that part of grieving for a very long time, and it is sad. But again, it is not up to us to let them know or to tell them like, hey, you need to get over to like the other side of grieving or to the next step, because again, everybody grieves in a different way. So as you guys are celebrating, those of you that are choosing to celebrate Thanksgiving, just kind of like think about that. Think about what it is that you're grateful for, what it is that, you want to do with your life, and just go for it. Just go for it. Go for it. Go. There is no need to keep on putting life on hold. There is no need to keep on putting your dreams on hold. You've done it for way too long already. Hey, Jocelyn, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing well. As always. No, Lisa. No, I'm doing good. Just really wasn't planning of doing any lives anytime soon. I was resting, before anything. But, that whole thing with, we being reminded that every single day you have to choose what it is that you're going to do with your with your life. What was I going to say? And I don't know if you guys follow my other, I do have a Instagram and Facebook for my narcolepsy. You can actually find it on my Instagram and Facebook from Dream Queen. There is links to it. And, I make like little clips and little things like that. But one of the things that I always talk about, or I always try to say is like, I can choose to be miserable, to be, I can choose to be miserable. I can choose to be angry. I can choose to be frustrated with everything that is going on. But there's definitely this sense of like me choosing to look at the positive, to look at what I have versus what I feel that I'm lacking, or versus what I feel that I want. And that is kind of something that, if we look at this entire year, one of the main things that a lot of us, especially those of us, and I'm included, right, that like to plan everything to a T, right? And that have not learned to go with the flow, this year has definitely taught a lot of people that, right? Because a lot of people had a lot of plans, a lot of people had a lot of deadlines that they wanted to meet, and then boom, everything hit this year, where it kind of was like, you know what? Let's learn to go with the flow. And that's kind of like, kind of like a reminder, right? To kind of take a seat, take a step back and allow yourself to just be, allow yourself to kind of just go with the flow. And even though it came in a massive way, right, for everyone, it was definitely something that was necessary. It was definitely something that is giving a lot of people the opportunity to wake up. It's giving a lot of people the opportunity to recognize and to realize what it is that they have been doing with their life, how it is that they feel in regards to their life, what attachments they have and things like that, which has actually been, a lot of people have complained about 2020, and they're like, you know what? In 2021, we're not going to talk about 2020 and all of this. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I had like an amazing year, to be honest with you. There was a lot of growth. There was a lot of things that were revealed. And I have also seen it in a lot of people, even though it's kind of funny because a lot of people have gotten a lot of clarity, have become aware of a lot of things, have gone through massive growth. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, can they not see like how much they've actually grown based on the things that they say when I have conversations with them? And you kind of listen to them, right? And you're just like, And then it's like, but again, we're here in a space of observing, right? and allowing everyone to get to that point, to get to that level on their own without so much having to directly say it to them. I hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and see. We had 4 cards that popped out, and I'm just going to go ahead and let's see. So the first one is Mother of Life, Nourishment of the Golden Grain Mother. What page is that on? So we are using the Isis Oracle cards. Where is it? Page 109. Yes, Buster, I'm going to come and cuddle with you. All right, let's see. Okay. So we have 109 as the first one. Let's see, what does that have to say? And I'm going to read them in the order that they came out. Okay. All right, so we have, so this is the first card, guys. I just want to move this a little for the glare. Okay. Let's see. We can sometimes fall into existing and doing rather than truly living. We only know that this has happened when suddenly our life seems dry, depleted, filled with tasks, or it feels like we are stuck in a rut or habit that may have been comfortable, but is becoming stiffening and suppressing. Isis, the Mother of Life, holds the ability to restore even the most numb, resistant, and difficult circumstances and people back into life. She calls to you now, seeking to bestow gifts of life upon you. Be bold and brave. Open your arms and receive. So there's definitely, again, and I feel that this is more of like, again, it's just a reminder that a lot of the times we're so focused on our day to day, right? I got to do 100 things a day. And we just forget to just embrace it all. We forget to celebrate the little moments. We forget to, hug our kids, to tell our spouses we love them, to tell our siblings we care for them, or et cetera, et cetera. Because again, in this type of society that we live in, the type of life that we live, we're overstimulated with everything, right? You're overstimulated at work, you're overworked. When it comes to, social media, when it comes to going outside, it's like everywhere you are, there's just like, it's like an overstimulation, right? And again, that is why your daily routine, right? Your daily, not routine, like, the showering, all that stuff, even though you should be showering every day, but your daily spiritual, right, routine, whatever it is that you choose to do, you pray, you meditate, all of those things are very important. And it's very important that you stick to them on a daily basis. Why? Because they are your foundation, right? Yes, you can exercise. Yeah, you can do all of these things, right, to help you feel grounded. But your daily spiritual routine is your foundation to staying connected and to staying true to yourself at all time, regardless of religion, regardless of anything. And I feel that a lot of people are starting to notice that. And there is a sense here, right, of like when everything starts to go or move or flow in the way that you want it, not to move away from your daily spiritual routine, guys. So the second card we have is the Divine Sun Child, the blessings of the Sun Falcon. And that is going to be at the beginning of the book, right? What page is that? It's Divine Destiny, Divine Guardian, Divine Sisterhood. All right, Divine Sun Child. So this is your second card, guys. And we have Blessings of the Sun Falcon, the Divine Sun Child, Horus, son of Isis and Osiris. Flow to you now, beloved initiative. It is time to allow your life to flourish without limits, to let your light burn bright and without veil, just like the midsummer sun burning without contents in the Egyptian desert. Blessings of the Sun Falcon herald the time when your divine legacy is being born. It is your turn. It is your time to burn bright. So again, like I was saying at the beginning, it's like some of you are waiting, some of you are waiting, some of you are waiting, some of you are procrastinating. The time for the wait is over. The time to keep yourself hidden, to hide yourself, to pretend to be something you're not. It's over. Hey, Patricia. The time to show the world your true self, the time to live, the time to live, not to just exist, but to actually live is now, guys. And then we actually have 4 cards, guys. I'm almost there. The third card, Divine Sisterhood, community of spiritual sisters and brothers of light. I love this card. See it? See that card? All right. So let's see. This says, in community that is based in equality, respect, healthy boundaries, and personal freedom, with a mutual desire for spiritual growth and honoring of infinite wisdom, great miracles occur. You are part of this community of light. At one time, it existed only in the spiritual worlds, yet now it is being born on the earth. It is part of your destiny to help create and nurture a conscious community that empowers all of its members and is based in truth. So, what I like about this card, as you continue to, let's say, grow, to evolve, right? As you're going through these different transformation throughout your life, there is definitely this sense where you start to connect, right, with people that are more in line with you, right? And my light seems like it wants to go off. If it does, guys, and I lose you, I'll come back. Anyways, but there's also, again, in order for something to be truth, right? In order for there to be this space where people can actually encourage and empower each other, everybody has to come from a place where they're being themselves, right? They're not pretending to be someone or something they're not. And, throughout your own journey, you're going to meet a lot of different people. You're going to connect with a lot of different people. But there is this sense of always staying true to yourself, always staying true to who you are. And then the last one is one of my favorite cards, is Goddess of 10,000 Names. Isis, endless animation of the priestess. I always love that card when it comes out. Because again, it's like, it talks about this thing where, we can go by many different names, right? Some of us are mother, some of us are father, some of us are wife, husband, sister, brother, mother, grandmother, whatever it is. But you, right? You, the name that was given to you. I feel that is always how you should present yourself, right? I remember years ago when I people used to tell me, like, tell me about yourself, like, who are you? I would always start with, like, I'm a mom. And it's like, no, I'm Perla. Mom is one of my roles. Perla is my name, right? So there is this again, everything is refocusing to get you to get your attention back to yourself, to get you to get your attention to that space where you're being yourself. You don't have to apologize for it either. So Goddess of 10,000 Names. And that is page 66. So let's go ahead and see. I says with many, sorry guys, I'm like, I sit in a bowl. So this thing be just making so many, this bowl be making so many noises sometimes. All right. I says with many names, forms, association, and expression is referred to as the goddess of 10,000 names. A name holds power. It defines and energizes or limits. The names, faces, and roles that you play are just one part of your being. Yet you exist beyond them, beloved initiate, as a vast being. You are currently realizing that you are not limited by previous identities you held. Instead, you are becoming more of your whole self. Enjoy the uncovering of even more of you. That was beautiful. So, what are we looking at? Hold on, guys. Let me just get a little organized. When's Wisdom? Why some? You know, some names, hi. And if I screw up your name, I'm sorry. When it comes to certain names, I definitely screw it up. Spanish is my first language, not English. So sometimes I want to pronounce things exactly as I see them. So there's definitely this sense of, guys, let's try to get back to a place where, again, we are in a space of being grateful, whether things are going good or whether things are going bad. Yeah, you can definitely ask a question. And if it's something that I can answer here, I'll definitely answer it. And if not, you can go ahead and send me an email if I can't answer it here at the moment. But you can go ahead and write it down. So there's definitely this sense of, again, okay, trying to gather all my thoughts, right? To kind of, just say it like all at once. There is, first of all, no need to fear, let's put it this way, where it is that you're headed, right? Because with all these 4 cards, I do feel that there is this intensity, right? Or this space where something wants to be born, something wants to be created, something wants to be released, right? Regardless of which stage you're in. But is, again, some of you have either been waiting for a sign, have been waiting for a confirmation or whatever it is to go ahead and move forward, or go ahead and go in a certain direction, or go ahead and get started. And I feel that everything that has transpired in the past year has definitely, it was almost kind of like, even though time didn't literally stop, but it was kind of like that, right? Where a lot of people were forced to be home. And instead of taking advantage of the time that they had at home, right, to do the things that they've always said they wanted to do, they were instead complaining about having to stay home, right? So there is this dynamic, right, where needing to stay in that space of gratefulness, regardless of anything, right? Because let's use this for example, right? Again, if you guys follow my other channel with the narcolepsy, right? Sometimes I'll be up 27, 30 hours without any sleep. Sometimes I get up in the middle of the night and I can't go back to sleep. I have 2 options. I can stay in bed, complain, whine, bitch about not being able to sleep, focus on the fact that I can't sleep, focus on the fact that I have to be up in 2 hours, or I can get my ass out of bed and do all the shit I'm supposed to do in the morning anyways, and just get it out of the way. So there is this needing to learn to go with the flow. If I am meant to be up or wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, and I start cleaning and I start cooking and I start doing all these things, and then I know that I have a certain responsibility, well, if that's what I'm meant to do that day, I know for a fact that I'm going to get either to that appointment or get everything else done, because I am going with the flow. I'm allowing myself to experience life in a different way. Whereas if we go back 3 or 4 years ago, I'll bitch and I'll complain because I was up and I wanted to sleep, right? And I wouldn't get shit done. I will be up the whole night, get nothing done, and then sleep the whole day and still get nothing done. So there's definitely this need to not only be grateful when things are going good, guys, but also be grateful through the challenges. And I keep on saying this, and I know I sound like a broken record, but there is this you have to learn to appreciate everything, right? The good with the bad. Everything has to balance out. And if you don't like your current situation where you are now, if you don't like, regardless of what it is, whether it's financially, romantically, where you live, or whatever it is up to you to go ahead and take the first step, right? Take that leap of faith in whichever direction you're being guided to go so that you can change your situation. Because you can pray and you can hope, but until you don't take that first step with faith that you're going to be successful, nothing is going to change. A general reading about my relationship. Well, I'm not doing general readings in this one. I was actually thinking that I was going to go on tomorrow and pull out some cards for those that wanted to. I'm not exactly sure what time I'm going to do that, but it is something that I want to do just kind of like as a thank you, just pulling out at least 2 or 3 cards for like everyone that joins me tomorrow live. Yeah, tomorrow. I'm looking at the time. Like, wait, what time is it? It's only 10:26. So if you definitely want me to pull out some cards, I'm definitely going to be pulling them out tomorrow. This is more about your own personal journey, not anyone else's. I hope that answers your question. Well, guys, that is, we're already at 31 minutes. I swear, every time I come on here, I say I'm only going to be here for like 5-10 minutes top, right? It's like all I had to say was this, right? And then it goes into like a whole nother thing. So just remember, people are part of your journey, but not the journey itself, guys. Alrighty. So I will see you guys back at some time tomorrow to pull out some cards. So if you want to go ahead and get a few cards pulled out for you, just kind of be in the lookout. I'm probably going to post the live a couple of hours before, just so you guys can make sure you guys are there. Take care, guys. Love you. Mwah. Bye-bye. Now let's end this, right? This is always a fun part.